In a small town lived a teenage girl named Rhea. She loved gardening more than anything. Behind her house, she had a small patch of land where she planted flowers. Roses, sunflowers, lilies, and jasmine. Every morning she would rush outside, excited to see new buds. But that year, something went wrong. Days passed, then weeks. The plants grew, but no flowers bloomed. Rhea grew frustrated. "I water them every day. I give them sunlight. Why is nothing working?" she complained. Her neighbors' gardens were full of colorful flowers, but hers looked plain and lifeless. One evening, in anger, she threw her watering can aside. "I quit. This garden is useless." Next door lived an elderly man named Krishna, known for his beautiful garden. He had been watching Rhea silently. The next morning, he walked over and said, "Why have you stopped taking care of your plants? They don't deserve it." Rhea snapped. "They're not blooming anyway." Krishna smiled gently. "Come with me," he said. He led her to his garden. It was filled with blooming flowers of every color. Bees buzzed happily, and butterflies danced in the air. "Do you think my garden always looked like this?" he asked. Rhea shrugged. "Probably." Krishna shook his head. "There were seasons when nothing bloomed. There were days I felt like giving up too." "Then why didn't you?" Rhea asked. He pointed to a small plant in the corner. It looked weak and had no flowers. "This plant," he said, "didn't bloom for 2 years." 2 years? Rhea was shocked. "Yes," Krishna nodded, "but I kept watering it. I kept believing in it. And one day, it bloomed more beautifully than all the others." Rhea looked confused. "But what if my plants never bloom?" Krishna picked up a handful of soil and said, "Growth happens beneath the surface first. Roots grow strong before flowers appear." He looked at her kindly. "Positivity is like sunlight. Even if you don't see results immediately, it is still helping things grow." Rhea stood silent, thinking. That evening, a strong storm hit the town. Heavy rain poured down, and winds shook the trees violently. The next morning, Rhea ran to her garden. Some plants had bent. A few leaves had fallen. "This is hopeless," she whispered, her eyes filling with tears. She went to Krishna again. But to her surprise, he was calmly fixing his plants, tying them gently to sticks for support. "Aren't you upset?" she asked. "Why should I be?" he replied. "The storm damaged everything." Krishna smiled. "The storm didn't destroy my garden. It tested it. And now it will grow stronger." Something shifted inside Rhea. That day, instead of complaining, she carefully stood her plants upright, cleaned the soil, and watered them gently. Days passed. This time, she didn't keep checking every hour. She simply took care of her garden with patience. She started noticing small signs. A new leaf here. A stronger stem there. She smiled more and complained less. One morning, as the sun rose, Rhea stepped into her garden and froze. Bright yellow flower had bloomed. It was small, but to her, it felt magical. "Krishna, uncle," she shouted, running to him. It bloomed. It finally bloomed. Krishna walked over, smiling proudly. "See?" he said. "Your garden was never empty. It was just preparing." Soon, more flowers began to bloom, one after another. Her garden slowly filled with colors, but something even more beautiful had changed. Rhea herself. One day, her friend asked, "How did your garden become so beautiful?" Rhea smiled and said, "It started blooming the day I stopped being negative." She realized something important. The garden didn't just need water and sunlight. It needed patience, belief, and positivity. Moral of the story: positivity doesn't always give instant results. Sometimes it works quietly beneath the surface, helping you grow stronger until the right moment to shine arrives. Just like a garden, your life will bloom if you don't give up on it.